नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter number 1, Verse number 17. Sri Sukadeva Goswami speaking, answering to a question of Parikshit Maharaj about the pastimes of Sri Krishna, about his birth, his activities, how long he stayed, how many wives he had. And this question he posed. And Sukadeva Goswami said that hearing katha is very purifying. It purifies the speaker, the questioner, the audience, just like tatpad salilam yatha, the water coming from the feet of Krishna, whether the deity or Gangaji. So now he speaks, he is giving the reason why Krishna appeared. There are various reasons listed in the prayers of Kunti, why Krishna appeared on earth. So this is one of the ones. He also mentions it there, that earth was burdened and therefore he came to remove the burden of the earth. So he says that Bhumir dripta nirpavyaja daityanika shatayutaihi akranta bhuri bharena brahmanam sharanam yayau. So Bhumi or earth was burdened or trampled by daityas who were in the dress of kings. Nripa Vyaja Daitya Anika, and their army, Anika means army, Shatayutai, having millions of them. Ayuta is 10,000, multiply that by 100, becomes a million. So millions of these armies of these kings who were actually Daityas. So Daitya generally means the sons of Diti, or those who are coming in that dynasty. So they are not like that, but by behavior. Right? There is a etymological meaning, and then there is a meaning which comes by person's action. So now also there may be Daityas, but they are not coming in the dynasty from Diti, or they may be Devas. So Akranta Bhuri Bharena, she was heavily burdened. So burden is not by something heavy, but by the character of people. And like we say that somebody is a great soul. So great does not mean that soul is some bigger size, because the size of the soul does not change, but it is by the character, behavior, qualities that somebody is considered as great. So similarly the burden is because of their Daitya behavior, Asuric behavior, which means adharmic, which means against the cows, brahmanas, yagyas. There are certain things which sustain the planet, because dharma is that which sustains, right? Dharana dharmityaho dharma dharyate praja. So dharma is that which maintains, which sustains, and then there are things which are conducive to dharma. Brahmanas, brahmana means by character, brahmana, not just by birth, because samdam tapate tiksha, that is their characteristic. So brahmanasya dehoyam kshudra kamayaneshate krichraya tapseha prityananta sukhaya. The body of brahmana is not meant for performing some petty activities like making money. So now you will have Sharmaji shoe shop. Right? Or Verma barber shop. So Sharma is Brahman, Verma is Kshatriya. So now we have all these things going on. So previously they were performing their duty. Brahmana's duty was Pathan Pathan Yajan Yajan, Dan Pratigrah, studying Vedas, teaching, performing Yajna. So this was dharmic. So therefore Krishna protects Brahmanas. Then cows, they also maintain, not only just by giving milk and bulls which till the land, but also by their very presence they maintain. And yajna, right? So sahayagya prajasrishtva purovach prajapati anina prashvaddhame savotishtu kamadhik. So deva bhavetanine te deva bhaviyantuva parasparam bhaviyanta shreyaparam avapshat. Krishna says evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartati aghayorindriyaramam mogham partha sajivati. So he has established yajna from the very beginning. So yajna means Dev Puja Sankti and Dan. So worship of the Devas, giving charity and association, bringing people together. When yajna is there, people come together for good cause. So these things maintain, and they should not be made into business. They should not be exploited. So in Shanti Parva of Mahabharata, Bhishma speaks about it. What maintains the kingdom, the state and things, what should not be destroyed. That was actually the job of a king, to make sure that these things are maintained. If these things are maintained, then running a kingdom is not a problem, because then nature helps. And when these things are not maintained, then there's a big problem. Right? Like now, all the time so many problems at all fronts. So this is because when dharma is not there, then you have to do the role of dharma and you cannot do it. So people are not dharmic. How will you control them? So therefore earth was burdened. So she went took the shelter of Brahmanam Sharanam Yayav. So she approached Brahma, because Brahma, although is a creator, but he is also a sort of in charge. He is part of, because Shiva is not so much involved in maintenance. He is more like renounced sadhu. That is how he maintains, by doing his bhajan. That is also helpful in maintenance, but Brahma is one who is involved, although maintenance is for function of Vishnu. But you go to Vishnu when problem goes out of hand, cannot be taken care of by the lower managers. So earth went to Brahma, therefore. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Tatra tavat bhagavad avatare prasiddham karanamaha bhumiriti. So first he explains the famous cause of Lord's appearance, Bhagavan's appearance here on earth. Dripta nirpa vyajaha diti vanshatva bhavepi karmana eva ye daitya. So these daityas who were very proud, dripta means proud. So they are, although not coming in the dynasty from Diti, but by their action they are Daitya. Tesham anik shratanam yutairya, and they had their big armies. So to fight, because Daityas are looking for power, so they attack others, for that they have army. So therefore earth was burdened by that akranta, bhuri bharana, heavy load. Brahmanam Sumeru Murdhvam Sthitameva. So she went to Brahma, and Brahma has one office at the top of Sumeru mountain. His house, his residence is in Satyaloka, but he has his office in Sumeru mountain. Where is Sumeru mountain? I don't know, but it's always mentioned. Maybe that Sumerian civilization was there. Where was it? Somewhere in Iran? So maybe Sumeru was there somewhere. At least some civilization was there. So it is supposed to be some 80,000 miles high mountain, and on top is the office of Brahma where he sits. So rooftop, cool air and no pollution, right? At that height there is no pollution. Mosquitoes, flies cannot reach there. So she went there to him. So therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti says, it's a nice point he's making. He says, Natu Satyalokastham. She did not go to Satyaloka, which is the original place of Brahma. And he gives a very nice reason for that. Why is it? So he says that Krishna Avatarad Ati Purvameva Kakadmina Revatyaha Kanyaya Sampradana Prashnartham Tatra Gatavata Tena Sahitaeva Kshanantram Brahma Tam Pratyaha Samprati Avtirnaya Baldevaya Kanya Diyatam Ityatas Tasya Tanmadhe Shirodatira Gamanam Nivrittam. So Jagam Dharni Mero Samaje Tridivokashamiti. So he says that there is this story of Kokudmi, who is father of Revati, and he took his daughter Revati to Brahmaloka. Must have some special power to reach there, to ask him, whom shall I marry my daughter? Instead of asking the daughter, whom do you want to marry? Because daughter cannot make good decision, right? Young people don't make good decision when it comes to marriage. So father was concerned, and he thought best person to ask is Brahma, because sometimes they say that marriages are made in heaven. So he says, let's go to heaven then. It's the best place. So he went there, but Brahma was busy at that time. Some kirtan was going on, some bhajan party had come. So he has to wait. So then he asked him, and he said, what you are saying now, it is the, go fast, it is the 27th, Chaturyugi, Dwapar Yuga, Balram is there, you marry her to Balram. So he came running. So he says that in the meantime there is no talk that Brahma had gone to Kshirshagar, because here it will be described that Brahma goes to the milky ocean and with the earth. So there it is not said that Brahma went. So therefore Brahma probably has another form here. So she went here only, because it is this Brahma who goes, right? Not that one. So he thinks that, from that he concludes that he did not go, or the earth did not go to Satyaloka, but went to Sumeru. And Jagam Dharni Mero Samajetri Divokshamiti Parashurena Pyuktam. And then there is a statement from Vishnu Purana that earth went to Meru. Sumeru, Meru, Samaje Tri Divoksham, where there was an assembly of Devas. The Devas have assembled there. So she went there. So then he says, Gaur bhutva shrumukhi khimna kradanti karunam vibhoho upasthitantike tasmai vyasnam samavochata. So earth, she was crying with tears, ashrumukhi, and khinna, she was distressed, krandanti, crying, karunam vibho. So piteously she was crying, and she went to Brahma. Upasthitantike tasmai vyasnam samavochat. And then reaching Brahma, she put her problem that I am very much in trouble. There is no one to take care of my problem. Please help. There's so many asuras, asura-like kings now, and they are burdening me. So this is what she spoke. So you had some question?
I'm just a little bit puzzled about this other form of Brahma. Is it like, does he have some expansion, or is it another personality who's also Brahma, who's taking care of the earth while there's a, like Shiva and Sadashiva, or?
No, these people can have many forms. It's not a problem. Just like now he is going to tell the devas that he should go on earth and take birth, right? So that does not mean that nobody is there in the Devaloka. They stay there, they come here.
So like an expansion.
Yeah, you can expand. It's no problem. That much yogic power they have. Otherwise, how to think now? Kukudmi is talking to him, right? So when Kukudmi went, Krishna had not taken birth here, right? And then he speaks with Brahma. He says, "Go down quickly. 27 or whatever Chaturyugis have passed now, and Balram is there." So that means in the meantime, Earth went to Brahma. Brahma went to Kshirshagar, prayed. So on one side he is there with Kukudmi, other side he has gone. So there must be expansion. Otherwise, how do you explain?
Or two different people.
It's two different.
Brahmas.
But there is only one Brahma. Where are two Brahmans? They will have big problem if there are two of them. So no, there is only one. So that means he is there talking to Kukudmi and telling him to go down Krishna, and in the meantime Earth has gone to Brahma and Brahma has prayed, so it must be here. Sumeru. So therefore she went and she complained, or she expressed her suffering, Vyasana means misery, trouble, to Brahma. So Brahma, when he heard, he understood that this is a big problem and it is beyond his capacity to help. So he took all the devas, because he was already having a meeting with the devas, right? So all the devas were there, because if Brahma comes down, then all the lower people have to accompany him. It's like when Brahma came to give boon to Hiranyakashipu, then all other devas also came flying with him. Right? If the Prime Minister of India has to come to Vrindavan, then the Chief Minister will also come, and other authorities, local authorities, they will all come. So therefore, Brahma, he goes with all the devas because they were all there. It was already said in the previous verse number 17. So Brahma tat updharya ath sah devais taya sah jagama satra niyana stiram Kshirapayo nidhe. So Brahma, he heard the problems, the trouble of earth, and then along with devas, means Indra, Chandra, etc., and also Shiva was there, Trinayana, three-eyed. So Shiva also accompanied. So they all went. So if when you have to go and you have some problem, then at least in India that's what they do, take many people. Right? And these days they have campaigning, so you sign, right? Through the internet they do it now. So that to get the support, we need 10,000 signatures. So it is also here like that. So not only Brahma but everyone else, including Shiva. He said, Shivji aiye aap bhi, you also come. Let's all go. So they all went. And where did they go? They go to the Milky Ocean, Kshirapayo Nidhe. So because Kshirodakshai Vishnu, he is taking rest there. So that is the best management, that you have your people taking care of things and you can sleep. So he worked hard, now he is relaxing. So he sleeps in a very solitary place where no one can come and disturb him. Right? No Daityas can go there. Although in Harivansh Puran there description that Vishnu was sleeping and Daitya came and stole his helmet. Then when he woke up, he said, where is my cap? So his cap was missing. He didn't see it anywhere. And then he chastised everybody. He says, when I am sleeping, everybody sleeps. Right? So everybody was sleeping. Because when he is sleeping, what is the point in being awake? So everybody dozed off. So then Daitya came and he stole the helmet. And then he sent Garuda. He says, go find out. I cannot even go out now. Without my helmet, how will I go? So then Garuda came and he found the helmet, his crown, and then he went back. When he went back, then he was not there. Then Vishnu was not there. Why? Because now Krishna has appeared on earth, so he came and he mixed into Krishna. So then he came and he gave the helmet to Krishna here near Dwarka. This is a story in Harivansh Puran. So therefore the meaning is that he sleeps in a very solitary place. I don't know how Daityas reached there. Some special power. So they went, they are looking for him, they don't see him. So Brahma says, it is not possible, let's pray to him. So let's see the commentary. Tad updharya ath jagame iti ath shabda adhikyadidam labhyate. So Brahma tad updharya atha is saying that why the word atha is there. So Brahma tad updharya jagama, that after hearing he went to the bank of the shore of the Milky Ocean. So what is the meaning of atha here? So he says that the word atha signifies this. Vishwa srishtireva mat karma palanam tu vishnureva karma. He thought that my function is to create and it is not my job to maintain. Right? So Krishna says, Swadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that one should perform one's own duty and not perform another person's duty. If you perform another person's duty, he says this is bhayavaha. It brings fear, trouble. So he says, my job is to create. If I start maintaining, I'll be in trouble. Maintaining is Vishnu's job. So let me go and ask him. Give him the application. That you are sleeping here, the problem is going on. So that's the meaning of atha. That after hearing, then what did he do? So then he went there. Sacha Vishnuhu kshirabdhistha iti tatraiva gatva. Which Vishnu is this? This Vishnu is not Garbhodakshay Vishnu or Karnodakshay Vishnu. This is Kshirodakshay Vishnu. One who is sleeping in the Milky Ocean. So he went there.
I have a related question.
Yes.
The Vedas were also stolen. So were they stolen from Vishnu or from Brahmaji or
Brahma.
the Daitya who's...
No, that is from Brahma.
That is from Brahma.
Yeah. So iti tatraiva gatva idam nivedaniyam iti paramarsha. So therefore he thought that we should go and inform or request him. So this is what he deliberated himself. Because when problem comes, then you have to first think how to solve it before you take some action. It's not that you immediately run. So you have to think, okay, what is to be done now? So he thought of the solution. He says, we have to go to Vishnu because only he can help. Tatra karya dvayam upasthitam. So there are two things to be done. One is Prithvi Palanam and Daitya Sangharanam cha. So first is to protect the earth and second is killing of the Daityas. So he says, Tatra Prathmartham Devendram Vagyapet Dutiyartham Rudram Vaiti Dev Sahityam Trinan Sahityam Chakrata. So he says there are two things to be done to maintain the earth and to kill the Daityas. So maybe he will order Indra for the first one and Shiva for the second one. Because Shiva's job is to destroy. So he says that's why he's taking both Indra and Shiva with him. So that he can give direct order. Brahma is only just a person who is going to inform. Tatra gatva jagannatham devadevam vrisha kapim purusham purusha shuktene upatasthe samahitah. So after going there, then what did they do? They praised him with concentrated minds by singing Purusha Shukta. So the famous Purusha Shukta, Sahasra Sirsha Purusha Shrashtraksha Shrashtrapat. So this is the famous Purusha Shukta to please or to praise Purusha. So Purusha here means Vishnu. And he is also Jagannatha. He is the Lord of the universe, protector. Nathri means also Palane. And Deva Devam, he is the Deva of the Devas. And Vrishakapim, who gives his grace or fulfills the desire of people. So they approached him. So Jagannathamiti tatra gamane nyaya. So Jagannath is used here. So that is indicative that it is he only who should be approached. because if he is Jagannath and Nathri Yachne, Nathri Palne, Nath Dhatu, Nath Te, so to be prayed, to be begged, so therefore he is the one who is the protector, so they go to him. And Devadevam iti Svesham Vigyapne Chadhikara. So the word Devadeva indicates that they have the right to approach him, because they are the Devas and he is the Devadeva. So if he is their Devas of the Devas, then Devas can go and approach him. So that is the significance of Devadeva. And Vrishakapimiti Varshati Kaman Akampayati Kleshan iti Prayojanam. And why did they go there? Because he is Vrishakapi. Vrishakapi is sometimes also used for Shiva, but here it is used for him. So it is two words, Vrisha and Akapi. So he is giving two meanings. Vrisha is Vrishu Varshane Dhatu or Sinchane, means to rain, to shower. So he rains desires, means fulfills desires or gives the objects of desires. And Akampayati Kleshan, he throws away the suffering of people, therefore it's called Vrishakapi. So these three names he has given their significance, because when these names are used, then they also have a significance why only specific name has been used here. So when they prayed, then what happened? That Vishnu did not appear there. Nobody saw him and nobody heard him except Brahma. So Brahma, he sat in Samadhi, and then Vishnu spoke to him through the heart. Like Bhagavatam says, Tene Brahma Hirda Ya Adi Kavaya. So he spoke and gave the message in the heart of Brahma. So they had a dialogue through heart to heart dialogue. When the Purushokta was recited, then Vishnu asked Brahma, yes, what do you want? So he said, earth is crying. So he says, so what do you want me to do? And actually he says, no, I already know. Because that's what he will say. So no need to tell me. I already know it. And it has been taken care. So giram samadhau gagne samiritam nisamya vedhas tridashanuvachaha gam paurushim me shunutamara punaha vidhiyatamasu tathaiva machiram. So giram samadhau gagne samiritam nishamya vedha. So Veda means Brahma. Brahma, he heard the voice of Vishnu in the Samadhi state. And after hearing, then Vishnu stopped, he just gave him the message, and then he left, or left means he stopped speaking. So then Brahma, he spoke to the Devas, Tridashanuvachaha, and he spoke to them as follows. He says, Gam Paurushim me Shunuta Amrapuna. He says, O Amaras, Devas, please hear from me the words of Purusha. Paurushim Gam means the words of Purusha or Vishnu. And this is what he has said. So take note of it. And Vidhiyatam Asu Tathaiva Machiram. And just do what he has said without any delay. You should act on it. So Samadhau Tatrapi Gavne Samiritam. So he heard it in Samadhi, Venus. And Gagane Samiritam, and that also in the sky. Iti Chirodanathasyapi Brahmanapi Durlabh Darshanatvam Abhivyajya. So even Brahma was not able to see him. He could only hear his voice, like Narada has heard the voice when he was meditating as a child in his previous life, described in the 6th chapter, 1st canto. So he also heard like that, and he says that this has an implied sense, suggestive meaning. It says Durlabh Darshanatvam Abhivajya Tadadi Paramanshina Sakshat Purushottamasya Krishnasya Agre Prapanchik Loka Matra Drishyatve Tadiya Kripati Shaiva Hetu Vyanjita. So this Shirodakshay Vishnu is an expansion of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who is an expansion of Karnodakshay Vishnu, who is an expansion of Sankarshan, and then that Sankarshan is an expansion of Balaram, and Balaram is an expansion of Krishna. So Brahma was not able to see this Vishnu, and that Krishna, the Swam Bhagavan, is going to appear on earth. So this is a great thing. So that Krishna is going to appear, so that shows his supreme grace on earth, on human beings, that he himself is going to come. So tadiya kripa atishaya eva hetur vyanjita. Therefore it is indicating that there is no other reason for him to appear but except that he wanted to give his grace. Otherwise there is no need for him to come. He can just send one avatar and he can do the job. Somebody like Parshuram can come, right? Parshuram was killing all these kings. When he was there, he can send him again. He said, okay, go again. You are already experienced in this work, right? You don't need a map, no Google map required. You already know where are these kingdoms. Just go and smash them. Could have done that. So he did not do that, but he comes. So therefore it says tadiya kripati shayeva hetur vyanjata paurushim purushasya shirodanathasya gam vacham. So please hear the words of Purusha, that Shirodakshay Vishnu. And this is what he said. So the next sloka is the word of statement of Shirodakshay Vishnu. Puraiva. Babaji.
This shloka I am not able to understand. One word is saying samadhi and then using gagne, samadho gagne. So generally samadhi, you explained that the voice was heard in the heart, and then gagne is that the voice is heard in the sky. So
where is the heart? Where is the heart?
It is inside the body, na? So
And everything is in Gagan only. Body is also in sky, and inside the heart also there is Gagan. Right? Hirdayakash. Have you heard this word? Hirdayakash?
yes, many times.
Hmm?
So he is taking this Hirdaya Akash in the sky of the heart.
Yes. People think sky is only outside. The sky is also inside. So some people fly in the sky inside. So this is the Gagana. So pureva punshav dhrito dharajvaro bhavadbhiranshai yadushupujanyatam sayavadurvyam bharamishwareshwara svakal shaktya chapayanchared bhuvi. So he says pureva punshav dhrito dharajvaro. So he says that the Punsha or the Supreme Person, that is referring to Krishna, he has already understood the trouble of the earth. And therefore he says, Bhavadbhir ansair yadushu upajanyatam. All of you should take birth in the Yadu dynasty by your Ansha. And how long you have to stay there? Sayavad urvyam bharam ishwareshwara swakala shaktya kshapiyan shared bhuvi. As long as he will stay on earth, that Ishvara, the Ishwaraj of the Ishvara, so swakala shaktya kshapiyan shared bhuvi, and he will move on earth, removing the burden by the power of his Kala Shakti. So you should stay as that long. So that means at least 125 years you are booked. So this sloka also indicates that these avatars are not coming from Vishnu. Krishna is not an avatar of Vishnu. Because he is saying that he is going to come, the Ishvara. Right? So that means Swam Bhagavan is going to come. Sa Ishvara yavad urvyam bharam kshapayan shared. So that long you also stay on earth. So twice the word has been used for earth, urvyam and bhuvi. So one is for the devas, that you go and take birth on earth, and how long you have to stay there? As long as Krishna stays on earth while removing the distress or burden. So therefore it's an important verse which indicates that one who is coming is Swam Bhagavan. Purushasya vachameva anuvadati puraeviti chaturbhi. So in the 4 slokas he repeats what Purusha here, that Kshirodakshai Vishnu told to Brahma. Brahma is just repeating that as it is to them. So Vigyapnat Purvameva. He says that he already knows this problem of earth. Even before you came with your Vigyapana, with your application, then he already knows that. So who is this Punsha? Krishna Swam Samabhavat Parme Pavanya Ityanusarat. So in Brahma Samhita it is said Krishna Swam Samabhavat Parme Pumani. Krishna is the Param Puman. So Swam Bhagavata Sri Krishna Nityat. So Sri Krishna himself will come. Avadhrita means Gyata, means he knows this. Anshai tadans bhuta parshadair uddhava satyakyadi bhi sah milati bhuya. So the word bhavadbhir anshair yadushu upajanyatam, it appears like that you should go on earth by your ansha, but he is taking another meaning of this. He is taking the meaning of anshai in the sense of saharthe, means along with. That his anshas are going to be also on earth, Krishna's anshas, like Uddhava and Satyaki and all this. So you mix with them. That is the meaning of ansai. So saharthe tritiya, this tritiya bhakti here is in the sense of saha and not the ansha of the devas. So parshadair uddhav satyaki adi bhisa militi bhuya. That his parshadas, his eternal associates, they are going to come and be on earth So you mix with them, means you also get inside them. So this is a great blessing for them. So yadushu iti uplakshanam kurushu api. So it is here said yadushu upajanyatam, that take birth in yadus. He says this is also lakshanic sense of Kurus, because in the Kauravas also we have, like Arjuna was Indra's potency or son, Yudhishthira was Dharmaraj, Bhima is Vayu, right? They are all Devas. Nakul Sahadeva, Swani Kumaras, Abhimanyu was Moon, Chandra. So they are all not only in the Yadavas but also among the Kauravas, Pandavas. Because if the Daityas are on the other side, then Devas have to be on this side. So Duryodhana side Daitya and Kaurav Pandav side Devas. So therefore all these Yadavas, they are his associates, but in them there are also Devatas. So the word Anshai applies in both ways. And then next he says Vasudeva grihe sakshat Bhagavan Purushah Paraha Janishyate tad priyartham Sambhavantu Surastriyah. So now something more interesting, he says that Sakshat Bhagavan Purushah Para Vasudev Grihe Janishyate. That Sakshat Bhagavan means Swam Bhagavan. Directly Krishna, Bhagavan, Purusha Para, the Supreme Purusha, he will take birth in the house of Vasudeva. So not really house of Vasudeva, but in the prison of Kamsa. It was not Vasudeva Griha. But there is a statement in Sanskrit. It says that na griham grihamityahu grihini grihamiti uchyate. That house is not called house, it is the wife who is called house. So wherever is wife, that's where the house is. So although they were in prison, but Devaki is there and Devaki is wife, so Devaki is the house. So therefore Vasudev Grihe here means Devaki. That he will be born from Devaki. Sakshat Bhagavan Purusha Para Janishyate. And tat priyartham sambhavantu surastriyah. And for his pleasure, the wives of the Suras, they should also take birth there. So this Surastriya, as it will be explained in the commentary by Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur, and Jiva Goswami also explains this in Krishna Sandarbha, that these Surastriya are actually the wives of avatars like Vamana Dev or other avatars. Their wives, they will come, because the Surastris cannot become wives of Krishna. I mean, these wives of the Devas. So this Sura here only refers to the various forms of Vishnu, because whenever Krishna becomes a particular avatara, then Lakshmi also takes a corresponding form. So they will also come. So Surastriya, therefore it says Surastriya tat priyansha bhutaya upendradi manvantaravatara striya. So it says that Surastriya here refers to the wives of Upendra etc., who are Ansa avatar of Krishna, and their wives, because they are the eternal wives, so they will become also here as wives. Taeva tat priyanam sakhyartham kritchara tad bhajan prabhavasa. So they themselves will come and be friends or assistants of Rukmani, Satyabhama, who are eternal wives of Krishna. So they will become their associates or their servants. Prithak bhutas tat priya sakhyo bhavantu. They will become their priya sakhi. Yad uktam ujjwal nilmanav, as it is said in Ujjwal Nilmani, Nitra priyanam anshastu ya jata devyonayah ta anshinam eva asam priya sakhyo bhavan brage. So he says that the anshas of Nitya Priya, the eternal wives of Krishna, their ansas are born also wives of other avatars who are ansas of Krishna. It is they only who appeared as associates of his wives, or also some of them became gopis. So this is also, it came, there was a sloka which we read while reading the commentary on the 10th canto, 29th chapter. In one commentary, Jiva Goswami has quoted this sloka, Gopyastu Shrutiyo Gyeya Rishija Gopakanyaka Dev Kanyasya Rajendra Namanusya Kadachana. There are three types of gopis. There are Rishis, that Rishichari or Munichari gopis, and then Shrutichari, the Upanishads, and Dev Kanya. So these Dev Kanyas are these Dev Kanyas. And na manushi kadachana, they are not human beings. So these are the three types which came, because only they can have the possibility to associate with Krishna. And even they have to give up their body, some of them which we read in 29th chapter. Right? Jahur gunmayam deham. That they gave up their gunmaya deha, prapta sangata. So these are the ones. So I will stop here. If there is any question.
I couldn't catch this meaning of this Ujjwal Nilmani verse. I just couldn't follow as you were saying it.
So Nitya Priyana Manshastu Ya Jata Devyonaya. So Krishna has his Nitya Priya, and then their anshas, their parts, are the wives of his avatars. Because Krishna becomes, say, Vamanadev, then somebody, Rukmani's Ansa or Satyabhama's Ansa, will be wife of Vamanadev. So they are the one who said they are the Surastri, because Vamanadev is also Sura. He is also counted because he is son of Kashyapa, he is brother of Indra, Upendra. So that's what he said.
So he's saying that the eternal wives, that they appear as the wives of his avatars.
No, expansions of them. Just as Krishna expands into avatara, his wives also expand correspondingly.
Okay. And then those expansions are, what is it saying about them?
They will take avatar on earth when Krishna is coming. And they will become assistants to their Nitya wives. Like Rukmani will come. So Vamanadev's wife will also come and be in Dwarka as maybe one of the wives of Krishna or assistants of Rukmani.
And so when it says Deva Yonaya, that refers to those wives of Upendra, etc.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's what Surastriya refers to in this verse. This is what Vishwanath is explaining. And that's Jiva Goswami also says this. And of course Rupa Goswami says in the Jal Nilmani.
Question, Babaji. Is the Upendra, just like Narsingha Bhagwan, when he came, he killed Hiranyaksha, then he went back. So after taking 3 steps, everything from Bali Maharaj, did he not go back? He just stayed here? Is there any...
Well, he's supposed to be guarding the gate of Bali in Sutaloka. That's what is described. Because he said, I'll be with you. So from whichever gate Bali comes out, Vamandev is standing there. That's why who went there to fight with Bali, I think, was it Banasur or Ravan, one of them, then Vamandev kicked him. I don't remember, but one of them went. So obviously it cannot be Banasur because Banasur is grandson, right? Or son. Must be Ravana or somebody. Anything else? Yes.
I just wanted to say that it makes so much more sense, this explanation, than what I previously always heard, that the wives of the demigods appeared, because it never, that obviously how can the wife of the demigods, devas,
they cannot
take
associate.
this position? It's not possible.
Yes.
So this is...
That's why it is explained like that.
Yeah, that's really makes sense.
Babaji, I had one more question. That in the earlier times, so whenever there was any natural disaster or any problem of that sort, people used to go to the king and put the blame on in some way put the blame on the king that you are not following your things properly. So now when we have some natural disasters or this corona-like things or whatever, something sprung up by nature, and we give an explanation that it is the collective karma of the people that they are suffering. So why this shift?
Why is the shift? Because people themselves are not following. If you go and complain to the king that you are not following your duty, then at least you should be following, otherwise what right you have to go and complain? Many yourself are not following. So people themselves are not following, that's why collective karma. You are all contributing to it.
Just shortly also regarding the wives, so they become assistants or friends of the Angshinis, of their respective sources of expansions, and also of the Gopis and Raj?
Yeah.
Of the Nitya Siddha Gopis then?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are both accompanying Krishna, or Krishna's wife in Dwaraka, etc., but also in Braja.
It's just like about the samadhi of Brahma, that he started in meditation and then he could not see Vishnu, but he could hear him. So then, just out of It's like, because you said that there was a transmission between heart and heart, inside of his heart, correct?
Mm.
So then there are different levels of intensity of meditation that they can have the full darshan by seeing and hearing and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, you can also see in samadhi, you can hear.
and why he could only hear and not see?
It's not up to him,
Not up to him.
it's up to Vishnu.
He didn't want to give him darshan.
If your job can be done just by hearing, why give darshan? Right? If your job can be done by a WhatsApp message, why go there personally? Right?
Yeah, because this was about solving the problem.
So Lakshmi was not able to participate in Krishna's pastimes, even though she did austerities and she really wanted to. She was not qualified because she
No, not in Braj.
in Branch, yeah. But then those wives of the Angshas, who are expansions of Lakshmi, who are in one sense less than even Lakshmi, they are able to go to Raj.
Well, that you can say that these sages are even much less than that. It's not question of less or more, it's question of your attitude.
Yeah.
So they performed tapasya, even these have performed austerities to be in Braj.
Yeah.
That's why they came.
Even though, so as expansions, they are in one sense non-different from Lakshmi, but then they're also different because they have different Abhiman.
Yes. Okay.